Now we are going to approval process setup. So yesterday we worked on training approval process in different organizations, and now we are going to work on multi-step approval process in the different organization. Let's see. So this is the active approval process. Okay, I'm opening this current approval process for training object. So here we have multiple steps. If you see, so training approval 2, this is the approval process which we created in a different organization. And step 1 don't have any criteria. So the same way, I can add multiple steps. You click on approval steps, approval notifications, approval ID. Just click on deactivate, and if you deactivate only, you will be enabled to add the steps. So I'm opening the new approval process to start the thing from scratch. So create new and it jumps at the time. Earlier we started developing the approval process with standard setup wizard where it has 6 steps. Now we are going with jumpstart wizard with training cost approval. Okay, training expense approval. So here, so I want to do the approval process. Like if the amount is between $0 to $1,000, I'm not going to take any approvals. Okay, if it is more than $1,000, I'm going to take approval. Like this, I'm going to work on it. Okay. I'm just checking the trainings approval template. Approval template. Let's leave this. Okay, add the approval history to related to items. I'm checking this option. Hello. I'm not selecting this. So here I'm selecting some criteria. Saying the training cost. So this is the entry criteria for the approval process. Should be greater than $1,000. Okay, it's greater than $1,000. Now the approval process will start. Okay, and select the approver. So I want to use the role hierarchy field, or else I can. Here there are 4 options. See, let submitter choose the approvers manually. When you are submitting only, you can choose the approver manually by the user lookup for that, or else you can use the role hierarchy, standard or custom hierarchy field, role hierarchy field. Your manager is going to be the generic approver. Here, So for suppose you are trying to submit your um, uh, submit the request to the finance department. If there are 4 people in the department, if any of the person can approve, you can create a queue for the 4 people, and you can assign that queue here. Means in that queue, right? If any of the person approves, our training expense will be approved. So here I can select the one approver, which is standard approver. Okay. Now, I'm going to select this person as standard approver. Okay. I'm statically giving this request will be approved only by this guy. Okay. Automatically assigned to this approver. Okay. And I'm clicking on save. This is a single step process where you see all the steps in one page. And now this is the detailed page, and there is a default step also where I want to edit this step. Click on next and set the criteria for this. Only record should be entered into this step. Click on, or else I will keep the criteria saying. Okay, this is fine. All the records will enter into this step. Now we have one single step approval process. Now I am trying to move this object to LH employees where I see the training tab. No, it's not here. Let's move to user to take. Would like to see the training areas and go back to the setup menu now. So here when I'm selecting this, I don't see any information page because I have disabled this by clicking on this. Okay, training expense approval is our training object approval process which we just created. I'm clicking on activate. Okay, and I'm clicking on view diagram to check what is the flow. So yesterday we have done a similar case. Okay, so in this type of single step process we have done. So whenever a record is submitted, this will be locked. Okay, whenever it's rejected, the approval is rejected, the training will be restricted. Okay, and it will be unlocked also. Okay, even though if it is recalled also, it will be locked. Okay, and if it is approved, again this will be locked. So if you approve, this is also locked. The record will be locked. You cannot modify the expense because once the record is approved, there is no need to modify. If you are modifying, then you are getting more money, right? So if you upgrade the things, the expense amount, you will get more money without approval. If you have updated the record, you have to take again approval. Okay, actually the record will be locked. You have to remove the edit button on the edit page, on the detail page. Now I'm closing this record. So now let's go to the training object and let's check the first level approval process, how it's going on. Okay, click on new, online. These are record types. Okay, and active time cost is important field which I have to give. I'm giving $100. Clicking on save. So I'm here. I'm taking this to the different page. Okay. So this is a different page. Generally, this is not the standard view. This is a page. We have example which I have linked with this page. That's the reason you are not seeing the standard page. The standard page will start from here. Okay. This component will not be available for that. Clicking on submit for approval. Okay, click on OK. So unable to submit for approval because because I'm the only the approver, right? So that's the reason I cannot do it. Now click on setup. Go to the manage users. So I will log in as control draw. Okay. And go to the EAP application is modified here. Click on this, add trainings. Click on new, offline, and I'm setting some data here. Okay. Thank you. Cost some $100. Click on save and click on submit for approval. So unable to, this record does not meet the criteria or initial submitters of any approval process because we have given $100 as the $1,000 as the minimum entry criteria. Let's go back. Click on clone and make this as 1,110. Okay. Click on save. Now I'm submitting for approval. Click on OK. Now see, when I click on submit for approval, this record is logged. Okay. So if you click on unlock record, you want to show means so this is called recalling. Recalling means so by mistake I have done some record submission. I want to update the cost expense. I'm clicking on OK. Now I recalled it. Click on edit. The approval request is recalled. Now we can update to. Click on save and submit the new expense again. Okay. This is still in pending stage. Okay. Now I log into the same organization from the different browser because as I am in control draw session. So now I see the request will be there on my page, on my screen. Click on home to see the items to approve section. See, items to approve section, if you see 106 browse, we submitted on 17/7/9:40 p.m. This is Indian time. This organization runs on Indian time. If you want to change that, there's other option that will work on it now only. Click on setup. Go to company profile. Company information. Here is the default standard time. Click on edit. So here Indian standard time is selected. Now I'm selecting GMT minus Eastern Daylight. Yeah, GMT minus 5 Eastern Standard Time I'm selecting here. So this will be in your time zone now. Click on save. So now every record or click on refresh. So now still the current company thing is completely changed, but still there are user information, go to your user data, and even though if the company belongs to US, the people can stay anywhere in the world, right? So they can be India also. There is one more settings at your user level also. Okay, I have changed it to, for me I am modifying it to GMT -7. Okay, for you, you can modify your profile name to your time, GMT -5. So I see the every record on the same name. See, morning 9:18 a.m. is the when that record is created. This is in my time. Okay, and if you click on approve, I can just click on approve. So this is the history what happened. Okay, and I can see the record information also. Here I have to show the. I can go to the training. I can see the record also directly here, and the arbitrary information. Okay, and I can. If I'm satisfied with this, I'm clicking on approve. Or else here also I can show the expense information. So that's a modifier. You can modify these settings also, right? Now this record is approved for $1,500. So this section is also modifiable. Right, so I can add, and the cost field is really important here in this case. I have to add this. So I will add it, okay, in the coming example. Now coming back to the second level process, we are going to build one more step here. Now I'm going to set up. Here, just go to the workflow rule, what you want to add, the next step, and so this is not the process, okay. This is the approval process, this is the activated one. Click on this. You can again set the order of approval process. For suppose, if there are two approval processes on the same object, then based on the order, it will consider which approval process should be initiated first, and later on which is the next, okay. And I'm adding one more action here. The actions, okay. Once this record is approved, now after this approved record, right, I'm adding one more action. See, if the expense is approved, if the expense is approved, I can send out email messages like this. So once the record is approved, right, I can send the email messages. So add new email alert or field update or outbound message also. Same the workflow actions you can add here. These are actions. These are rejection actions. So I'm adding field update. Okay. Here, saying approved update 1. Okay. On which object you want to add, you have to select here. On the So important topics. Okay. So in the important topics thing, I want to use the I want to make this as true. Okay. Checkbox true. Whenever the record is approved, I want to make this as active equal to true. Okay. Click on save. And whenever the approver, so click on show actions again. Click on add new actions. I can do field update. I can even do some email alert also. I can put rejected. One on the training on the active record. Okay. If it is false, click on save. Now let's go back to the system and check it how it will work. So I'm creating a new record. Click on new. Click on offline. Record type and click on time. I'm setting some value and I'm putting $2,000. Okay. I'm not checking any value here. Clicking on save. And I'm submitting for approval. Click on OK. Coming back to the system. Okay, I'm sorry. Coming here, refreshing. You refresh, you see the new data. Yeah, I'll submit one more record called 107. I'm clicking on assign and approve. Sorry, approve and reject. Clicking on approve. Now, if you come back to the system again, this is the other organization where Rob, I have logged in as Rob. And if you refresh this page, this record is approved and the checkbox is checked and the record is approved because it's having 2000. So you can see here also the status, the record is approved. Okay. And I can even put one more status field called rejected or approved pick list value, and I can change this pick list value based on this approved response so that you'll be knowing clearly so what happened to this response. But I don't have this pick list value, so I'm controlling the active or deactive. Same way, let's come here, click on clone and uncheck this and make it as $200. Click on save. Not $200. Click on edit. Again, I have to make it as 2000 only. Because if I'm putting one to $200, it won't even execute the. So even 1,000 also won't work. $1,002. Click on save. Okay. Submitting for approval. Oh, I think, sorry. I have to create in this org. As a Conan Rao, I have to create the record. Click on clone. And I'm giving the record as 2050. I'm checking this object now. Okay. And now this is active record. Clicking on save. I want to disapprove this record in this because I am the approver here. I have manually selected what all the requests submitted by control draw will be approved by me. Okay. Go down. So you see the I'm not clicked on submit for approval. Click on OK. Now you see the record here. Click on refresh. only the records clicked on submit for approval only will be seen here. See, this is the new record with 109, just dated 9:31 a.m. Okay, I am clicking on approve or disapprove. I am clicking on reject. Now come back to your organization and you can see the field update. This is a 109 record. See, the record is rejected and the active checkbox is updated to unchecked. That's how you can control here. Let's go back to our organization and check and add one more step. First deactivate and so view diagram. So I think that we can modify even the approval process from this layout also. Click on this widget. Click on next. Then approval cost is greater than or equal to 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 right is here. Okay, 1,000 and see. Okay, training cost again. Training cost is less than 5,000. Okay, this comes into one go. 1,000 to 5,000. Okay, this comes into one go. Clicking on save. Criteria modifying here. That's okay. Click on next. So click on next. Each step, there are steps. See, here is the fields which you are asking to display. I will move the cost field here. That's an important field. The same fields will display there. Okay. Click on save. So I think I have disabled a multi-step process here in this case, in the first scenario only. I will start creating one more approval process. Jump start result. This new thing is training multi steps. So here the same criteria I'm doing here also. should be greater than or equal to 1000. And so now here I am also giving the initials. Okay. Now I am giving the automatically assign approver using the standard or custom hierarchy. Okay. I am using the role hierarchy field here. You can't save. Here in this option, there is option of selecting the manager also. Select the label of the new hierarchy. Okay. So I think we don't have any fields. That's the reason we are not seeing it. So I'm selecting the manager field only. Click on save. Okay. Your approval detail page. New approval step. Step 2. So here I have the option to create multiple steps. So previous step will be executed on any scenario. Saying that step 2. Click on next. This country criteria will be approval cost. Now I'm giving this criteria greater than or equal to 2000, less than 5000. So all the requests above 1000 will be entered into this system. Okay. Now if it is 2000 to 5000, it's entering into the step 2. Okay. Means 1000 and 2000 only step 1. Okay. So I'm setting the same thing. Okay. That automatically assign user and your field. So here is the rejection behavior. So once if any of the person, like if any of the person in this loop has been rejected, what is step 1, step 2? First of all, you submit to your manager. Your manager submits the request to the higher level, step 2. Step 3 is to the above thing. Okay, that's the step, multi-step process. If the expense is more, it will go to the next higher level step. So if any of the person in these steps is rejected this, the complete thing will be cancelled. So here there is other option, perform only the rejection actions for this step and send approval back to the recent approver. Means if the approval process is rejected in the second step, it will come back to your first step. Again, the first step manager can submit the request again by updating it to the second guy. Okay, it won't reject all the actions, it will only reject the one action. I'm taking this option. This is a better option. Okay, recommended. Go back one step. Okay, click on save, and yeah, you want the email alert. So if you want, you can click on yes. If you don't want any update, you can delete it. Okay, to who all people the email alert has to go. Okay, this is the action, approval action. Selecting the email template for training. Because I don't have new terminal email. Just select any email template for training object. So okay. it will simply email you, because when you are using the template, you need to have the proper content. You need to say that your training has been approved, and the information you have to dynamically put the appropriate training fields. But I have selected here the wrong template because I have not created the template. You know, right, how to create the templates easily. And I am selecting the recipients of this email. I can select manually, or else I can select the owner of this field. Okay, training owner. I want to send only to the training owner, and even to the user. Like that also. Okay. Additional emails also I can map it. Each and every update it will be sent to this. Okay, all the finance related approval request should go to one email, means then you can map that email address here. Okay. Click on save. Now I want to add one more step. Step 3. Okay, and I'm clicking on next. And here I'm selecting some criteria saying their training cost greater than or equal to 5,000. So this is third step where the manager's manager will be getting the request. Okay. Here I'm giving less than 10,000. Okay. Greater than or equal to means it starts from 5,000 also. Less than means it won't consider 1,000 as in this category. Okay. Click on next. If you see there is an analogy between these two. If this criteria should execute, it should be true in both these scenarios. This condition has to be true and this condition has to be true. Click on next. Default is on logic. And the same thing I am giving manage manager will go with it. Otherwise, if you don't want to give manage manager, in this step I can modify the thing also. I can even map all the requests to one guy. So, okay. Yeah. And click on save. I'm giving the manage manager only. Or else I can give it to the automatically approve request to the Venkat. Okay. Or Sai, I can give it to Sai also. Click on save. And now other person from Prasad, right? Okay. Click on and give no email update. Click on go. So I can follow some process. Okay. Click on edit. I want to edit this and I will map. It's not manager. I will map to Ram Prasad. Okay. Next. Because it's really easy. Because if we manage this means I don't know we have to manage all the fields in the user object. But here you are directly giving the managers. These are queues actually. I don't want to select the queue. Here is the user. Oh, it's Ram Prasad. Okay. Show me your user. Ram Prasad is here. Okay. And click on save. And now I'm doing the final step. New step. Step 4, right? Step 4. Clicking on next. So when Rob is submitting the request, it first go to Ram Prasad. Later on, it will come to Sai. If again, so Ram Prasad approved, it will come to Sai. And later on, it will come to me. Cost is between greater than or equal to 10,000 now. Okay. Here we have done some simple mistake. We should not give the ending criteria like this, because if you are using ending criteria like this, it will end in this loop only. Okay. Given criteria, I have to modify again, and less than means all the request above these things will go off, because I am not going to read one more step. I am starting here. Okay. All the requests more than $10,000 will be submitted by this person. Click on next. I am selecting Venkat now. Okay. No action. Stuff and click on go. I can give the alert like this or similar alert I can give. Okay. Now if you see, I should not block this thing here. So I'm editing this. Okay. Click on edit, and I'm removing the ending criteria, because if it is greater than 2,000, if it is greater than $2,000, it will enter into second criteria. Okay. And if this is 2,500, it will enter into second criteria and it will stop there. If it is 5,500, it will enter into the third criteria. Here we are simply blocking the scenario here only. So I'm removing this none. I'll explain it every scenario. Okay. Click on save. Click on edit. Click on next, because all the records greater than 5,000 will enter into second step, obviously. Okay. You should not block the ending criteria, because if you are putting ending criteria, it will stop here only. Now let's see how this will work. Okay. Now we are going to submit the request from Rao. Rao's profile is here. Now for the first request will be coming to. First of all, I have to activate this too. So I will show the difference between the. This is the actual flow. So we have done simple steps there. By doing the steps, we have created this stuff. Okay. It's multiple steps. Okay. If the step 1 is approved, it will go to step 2. Okay. Like this. Step 1 is yes, it will go to step 2. Step 2 is again submitted, it will go to step 3. So it's like a recursive process. If it is blocked at step 2, it will go to nothing. Okay. It won't go, it will come back to record is locked. Sorry, this reject, if the step is rejected, it will go to rejected. If you see here, there is a 1 step back and complete step back also. See, if Ramprasad is rejecting the record, it will go to completely reject all the actions. If Ramprasad is rejecting, it will go 1 step. If Sai is rejecting, it will go to complete all steps back. Okay. If I am rejecting, it will come to 1 step back. There is an option for us where you can set how many steps it has to go. Okay. So this is actual flow. Okay, let's close this and activate. This is activated, and go back to our approval process and start submitting the record. Click on clone. Now I am entering the record value of 2500. So it will go into 2 steps. Okay, click on save. Okay, now Ram Prasad, if you log into your organization, okay, you can see things. Can you log into your organization? Ram Prasad, can you log into your organization and approve the record?
Yes, sir, just a second.
Yep. Others, you can do one thing. Go to your personal, click on this, go to your My Settings.
Okay.
And you grant access permissions to me so that I can log in as you from my user. I'm selecting for Ram. Is Ram Prasad.
Where I can, okay.
So can you, so now the request will go up to Sai, okay? It won't come to me.
Where I can grant access to you, sir, in setting.
So go to My Settings. So here I'll show the steps to you.
Okay.
My Settings. Here is a personal.
Okay.
Grant access permissions, grant login access.
Okay.
Click on that. And give your company administrator equal to 320 days left.
Okay.
And click on save. And now I can see the approval process.
Yes, sir.
I gave it. Okay. So I want to check the approval process one more time to confirm that the first level thing is will be fine or not. Who is getting the first level request? Okay. Go to the approval process 3. Okay, not you. The first level show options. Click on edit. The step 1 approver is not you. Step 1 approver of this person is his manager. I want to modify that also to Anita. Okay, to Anita. So I'm selecting her, and because I have access to her, click on save. And now go back to the user, click on clone and click on save and click on submit for approval. Okay. And now this request will come back to Anita's, so which is come to users. I'm logging as Anita. First the request will come to this lady. Okay. So I'm scrolling down. Check the request. See, Rao's request is here because I have mapped here. Because I can even map to the role hierarchy because I don't know who is this manager. have to go to your role hierarchy and check and modify all this stuff. Okay, I am clicking on approve. So now the request will come to Sai. Okay, click on I approved it. So come back to if you come here, see the request is still pending, and this is assigned to Ram Prasad. Okay. Now you go to Ram Prasad profile. Now I'm logging out of this session, Anita session, and I will log in as Ram Prasad now. Okay. See, I am logging as different users now. Second person is Ram Prasad. Okay. Now I will submit. I will submit the record here as Ram Prasad. I am submitting here. If you see here, the record is submitted by some other guy. Here is most recent approval. You see the different field here. Okay. Anita submitted the request. You came here. This is the manager of. Anita is the manager of Rao. Okay. Now I am clicking on submit. We are in the step 2 now. Okay. Here is step 2. I am clicking on approve. So now the complete process will be ended because there is no other step here. Both the things are approved. There is no other step because that is 2,500, right? So this will go up to 2 steps only. Let's create one more record by Sai of, click on clone record, 112 record. Okay. Now I'm creating expense of $30,000. Okay. $3 lakh. Click on save. Now this will go to all steps because our maximum limit is 10,000. More than 10,000 it will go to me. Okay. Now I'm clicking on submit for approval. Now come back to this. I'm logging out of. So check your records. And track this record, training 001 record. What are the steps what you have given in the approval process? You can see here. Rao submitting, it's coming to Anita, Anita, it will coming to Ram Prasad. That's how you can see here the steps, step 2, step 1, step 3. Now the training 112 record will be having more steps because the expense is more. It will go to all steps. You can have a number of steps like this in the approval process. I have created around 10 steps approval process for different customers. So it depends, okay, on your customer requirement. Clicking on logout, I'm logging in as Anita's first. Now come to her profile. Here is one more record, 112 record. Reset. I'm clicking on approve. Approve. If I'm clicking on reset, it will go back again. Okay. I clicked on approve. Now this is at, see, this request is submitted to Ram Prasad. And now I will log into Ram Prasad profile. Click on logout. Ram Prasad, I am logging in as a Ram Prasad. Come down. Here I am clicking on approve. Ram Prasad, if you check your organization, you can also see the request from your side also. Go and check your, click on home page, you see the same request. Okay. Can you confirm it whether you are seeing this approval request or not in your home page? If you click on approve, you won't see it because that will be approved. Okay, I'm clicking on approve. Have you checked it?
I'm checking it, sir.
Yeah, just click on home tab. You can see that you can see the request there. Training 0012.
Yes, sir. I can see.
Okay. You can also approve it from your side, but because I've already approved it, if you refresh it, it will be gone now. And now if you come down, the request went to Sai because this is more than $5,000. This went to Sai. This is the manager of Ram Prasad. So now we have to log in as Sai. Sai, can you approve your record from your side if you have logged into the system? Because now I'm not going to approve the record. Sai is going to approve the record. from his side.
Sai is in offline, sir.
Sai is not here.
Sai is in offline.
Okay, I'm clicking on login as Sai user because he gave login permissions to me. This is Sai's user, Sai Kiran. Okay, I'm coming down, and then I can see the request, same request here. Click on approve. Okay, I'm clicking on approving. This is the third step, pending for first approval. Clicking on approve. Now this is also approved, and now this step will finally go to Venkat. See, the fourth step is mapped to Venkat. So I have to log out of this user and go back to my profile, and I have to click on home page and just check the request. Now you can clearly see the flow of training 112 records and this approval process. Same thing will happen even in the finance approval type of records. Okay. Now if I come back, here is the approval or reject button. Click on approve or reject. So this is the steps. Rao to Anita, Anita to Ram Prasad. These are managers. They are simply approving this record. If it is $2,000 only, this has been approved here only. Okay. So if it is $1,500, it has been approved here only. If it is $500, it won't execute at all this approval process. It's directly approved. Basic expense is approved directly. There's no need to enter this approval process. It's 1,000 to 2,000. Anita has to approve. Above that, Anita will submit the request to his manager because it's big expense. Same thing, 2,000 to 5,000, Ram Prasad can approve. If it is more than that, Sai got the request. Okay, like this, it went up to four steps. Clicking on approve. Now, everyone in the organization can go to the training 112 organization. Okay, so this training 112, you can see the flow here. This is how the approval process worked. You can add a number of steps. Okay, and number of steps like this. This is middle level approval process. And same way, there is one more simple difference. If you go to the approval process, click on view diagram. So this is the actual flow. For suppose if step 1 is rejected, if Anita rejected the record, it will go to the rejected state. Okay, and means all actions are means this is the first stage and it's rejected for all. It won't go to the second stage. Okay, if the second step is rejected, it won't go to rejected status. Okay, this will go back to one step back only because I have given option of one step back. There are two options. When the record is rejected, there is one step back rejection or all steps back rejection. See, in third step, when this person is rejecting, when Ram Prasad will reject the record, it will reject not one step. Okay, this is not a one step. This is all steps. From here, this is rejecting to the record rejection. Okay, this option is different. This option is different. Okay, this is one step back rejection. This is all rejection. Okay, same way, this is also one step back rejection. I can also give all step rejection here. Okay, this is the option you can see at the end of the each and every step. Okay, make sure that you, based on the requirement, you map this stuff. Okay, and you can even add the see, there are some actions at the starting, right? We don't see there is an action here. Approval step is here. Email update. So yeah, here is the email alert. There's second that the second thing, we are sending email alert. Okay. So you can see this type of actions also support these actions similar to for rules. You can add these actions to the approval process also. Okay. Closing this. Now I want to introduce talk about role hierarchy today. Before that, the user profile. Okay, let's discuss about the user profile and their important settings today. Click on my profile. So now we are entering into the security field of Salesforce and complete your accessibility and security stuff. Okay, and this is the user profile. Each and every user in the of Salesforce will have that user profile, and it has like important fields. If you click on edit, you can see what are required fields. So last name, alias, email, username, and nickname are required fields. And even the role is also required field. You have to be mapped to at least one role in the system, the organization. These are all the roles available in this current company. Okay, I can attach to any role. So means the CO is at the top role. Okay, in our system, CO is at the top role. The head of the organization, where all the records will be shared to this guy. And the user license. So if you are able to select this type of roles you can modify all this stuff. The user license should be Salesforce. There are user licenses. For suppose, click on the new tab, click on new. I want to show you the type of licenses available. These user licenses available in Salesforce. Charter external. Charter external means so you can give access to the charter organization to external people by inviting the other people. They don't. So for suppose you are working with your customer. Sorry. Okay. For suppose you are working with your customer. You have a project of 10 people. This 10 people is working with one customer. Okay. He is representing that customer. So what you do is you invite that person to your charter group, in a private group, and you will talk to him on the requirements, on the document sharing, all this stuff. Okay. So for that you have to use charter external licenses for inviting the external people. Charter 3 is something like in the same organization, if there is a tester or if there is a person, product manager who don't want application access but who want only the project access, what happened there, or finance guy, you can give the charter access license, free license to him, even though if he's not a Salesforce user. If he is a Salesforce user, he automatically gets charter everything by default. If you don't have Salesforce license, if you don't have any Salesforce login user license, then you can create the charter licenses for free. Okay. In your case, generally, why people will choose charter free is it's completely free. Salesforce for Salesforce licenses, they have to pay money like around $100 per month, like this. Okay, depends based on the PS what you are looking at, on the enterprise, on the edition what you are using. Okay, so instead of paying $100 per user per month, you can use charter free license if he is not that important person. If you only want to see the charter. Okay. Force.com app subscription. So this is subscription application access for Force.com applications. Force.com free. So this license is also used for developing the free apps. This is a platform. Force.com is a platform. Identity used for simply giving access of login stuff. Okay. For suppose some applications will use login access for single sign-on. Okay. You generally authenticate the whether user is your company user or not. For that you can use identity. Okay. Partner app subscription. So you can use partner applications. You subscribe for this and you can use it. This is a separate license. So all these licenses, like we generally, most of the people won't use at all. We generally use Salesforce license or some free licenses, Service Cloud license or Service Cloud license, Salesforce platform license, like this. Okay, this is like important license. Salesforce license only you can modify anything on this stuff. Work.com only is only for Work.com users. Okay, and X.com proxy user, that is a different organization. Okay, So these licenses you generally don't use at all. You generally be using Salesforce licenses. Whenever in interviews, like people ask, like, so when they're asking about your customer, how many users are you supporting in your company? Means you have to tell about the total user licenses available for your company. If you go to your company profile, you can clearly check. For suppose if you're working for a company called Solar City, so if there are 500 people who are using Salesforce organization, means you have to have the 500 licenses in your system, and you have to give the licenses to the people. To come down, you should buy 500 licenses for that Solar City company, and you have to distribute the 500 licenses. Here is the distribution, right? See, total licenses and available licenses, user licenses. These are the remaining licenses. If you want to use for 450 people, you generally buy 500 licenses and you keep the remaining of 50 licenses for the new employees. Okay. Generally, you don't need to put that much big buffer also. Big companies will keep that. Small companies will keep only 5 to 10 as a buffer. Okay. And if they want, they can easily scale the licenses by calling to Salesforce.com. So all the people who are currently like affiliated login licenses, right? All are mapped to Salesforce licenses only. That is the reason they can see all the applications and they can create or they can modify the applications. So these other licenses are like end user licenses. Partner portal, they can only use as end users. Okay. You can configure that everything with these Salesforce licenses. Coming back to profiles, yeah, each and every if I am mapping Salesforce, I see a lot of profiles here. Okay, so you can only get mapped to only one profile user. Okay, so each and every user must map to one profile, so that all the security settings, tab access, application access, login hours access, and IP network access, everything will be security things will be coming from profile. Okay, so you can provide network access also. For suppose you have created a separate profile for Hyderabad users, Hyderabad sales users profiles. So these profile users will be having in the profile setting. You provide access only to sales related objects, marketing related objects and stuff to the sales users. Okay, and you put login hours as morning 9 to evening 7 o'clock Indian time zone. Okay, so that they can only log in the time zone on that hours. If they came to US, they cannot try logging in the morning times because they are in the time zone. And again, for suppose if your customer is really secure and they don't want to provide access to other people outside of office, to even to the employees also, then they can even provide network access to the profile users. So all the Hyderabad sales users can only see use the system, can see the contacts, leads, everything only in the office. They cannot see it outside of the office. That type of things also you can do it at the profile levels, so that all the users will be having the same settings. And active. So if you see, there is no delete button on the user object. There can be only edit button. There won't be delete option in the user object. Each and every, if you are creating 1 lakh users also, this will be stored in the system. So you can only deactivate it. You cannot delete it. Okay. Remember, you cannot delete the user. For suppose if you want to delete the user from the system, you simply activate it. The data will be in the system, but you don't have any access to it. For example, if employee is leaving your company, what you do as a system admin, you have to remove the access of the applications to that user. Simply inactivate. That will make that user inactive and he cannot access the system. And these are the separate permissions. If I'm selecting this user, I have some separate permissions for a marketing user. Permissions of a marketing user, like importing leads, like this. Okay. Offline user, this is for accessing the records in the offline mode. You can use the desktop applications like Salesforce for offline stuff, okay? And other stuff. You can store the records in the offline. People who are traveling remotely without internet connection, they can use this type of applications. Knowledge user is something like this license will be given to the people who works on backend service and call center type of roles. Okay, they will be having the, or else these people can create the knowledge for the service guys, support center, call center guys, and service cloud users will access the user. These people will create the solutions or PDF files for setting up the products or manual guides, all this stuff. Okay, knowledge user. So if you are a marketing user, just select marketing option and stuff. Okay, same way Salesforce.com flow user. This is like so generally you can create the flow type of application like for example you generally give a simple input text box on the home screen on your website saying to enter their email address. If they are entering email address, if the customer is entering email address, if the email address is existing in the system, you will show the existing details. If your email address is not in the existing system, you will ask some more information about the user. Like it's simply useful for like a flow type of application. Okay. If email is existing in your existing contacts, you can directly create the case from the website. If email is not existing in the system, you first create. You will ask for more information about the user, about field their first name, last name, and your company, and you get as a lead in your system. That's simple flow, right? From the same input, you are splitting into cases or into leads like this. Okay, that's flow diagram that you can create it with drag and drop tool. That option is this service cloud user. So this option for call center guys or service department. Site.com contributor is as I said, site.com is like publishing tool where you can publish the content to your sites, okay, your company site. Contributor will generally provide a content, okay. Publisher will generally decide whether to publish or not. So here is the option to publish the data, to make the data live or not. Okay. So this guy will generally create the content, contributor. Salesforce.com classic user is like mobile user, where before to Salesforce one application there is Salesforce mobile apps. Salesforce mobile apps. They are called Salesforce classic mobile app, which is like a enterprise application where you can access the accounts, contacts, everything from your mobile phone. It's like a simple mobile app, okay? Same thing, but Salesforce One have more features. The user interface is really good in Salesforce One. The user interface of Salesforce Classic User is really simple and little old. Okay, and here is the mobile configuration. You can map to this current user to give the access or to give some permissions what he can access in mobile. Okay, so what he can access in mobile, and accessibility mode is some option for changing the settings like this. Okay, if you are selecting accessibility mode like this, okay, you can, instead of drop down, right, you will get these options like my profile, my settings, developer console, blah, blah. These four options will be coming like this. Okay, color and color blend atom charts. So this option is available for changing the colors a little bit for those who have color blind okay, color blind users. Okay, color blind means some people cannot see some colors. Okay, like some people cannot recognize some colors. This is they have created some option for this people because dashboards and reports are shown in colors, right? So they can skip the type of collect from the things. Send apex warnings, emails. If I'm selecting this option, if there's any error in the system, if there's any error in the code, it will be sending some email warnings to my system. Salesforce One User means mobile user. Salesforce One User platform for mobile. Make my default landing page. So when you're setting to the system, you can make the default landing page a setup page if you are a system admin. But all the end users will generally want their application as the default landing page or a home screen or other thing. Okay. So, but system admins will keep generally this option. Force.com quick access menu is like, you can see the right side, you see this right, this is called quick access menu. Okay. So you can see the same thing anywhere in the record level to go to the page layout, to change the to view the object, all this stuff. Okay. If I'm clicking on view object, it will take to the current user object. Okay. So I'm clicking on view field, it will take to the current user fields. So this is automatically dynamically mapped to the current object links. Okay. If you're at the training object page, it will take you to the training object. It will show you the training object validation rules, training object layouts, training object applications, all this stuff. Okay. This you can turn off it. It won't disappear. It won't appear. Development mode is for option is for enabling. For the people who want to develop right, you have to enable this so that you can code in the Salesforce browser only. In the half of the screen here, with this half of the screen, you can code and you can change the changes on the top right, on the top half. Okay. And then in the bottom half, you can see you can code it. The top half you can see the changes. I can show it to you. So this is the training screen. This is the page. So I'm clicking on this. So this is how you generally. Yeah. So this is the code for this. So if you want to do some quick change, so I'm just saving the things by clicking on Control S. It will save the record. It will save the code in this section, and it will reflect here. See, simple change. So this is the dynamic text. So user dot last name. Okay. So if I'm removing this, I want to only first name. Click on save. So hello, I'm getting you. So this page completely changes. Okay. If I'm clicking on save, so it will show the save option here, and it will show the changes happening on the top right corner. Okay. So this option will be disabled, so you cannot see this type of option. Okay. So and if you want to make this, if you want to close this, you just click on close, and but still the training, this type of menu will be available if you are selecting this option, developing mode option. Okay. If you are unchecking this option, you won't see at all that option. You won't be seeing at all, because the end users don't like seeing the coding, right? This is only for administrators and developers. Okay. And so system view state. So what is view state? View state is something like, it will show you how much data loaded into the current page. So suppose if this is loading the page, if I'm refreshing this page, right? So I can see how much data loaded to this page. Okay. So here is 2.41 KB loaded into the system. All the data which is in this, it won't consider so it generally considers the data from the system, this information, all the logos, coding from the database and showing on the page view state. If you're showing a lot of information like lakhs of records on this page, this size will automatically increase. The maximum limit is 135 KB. If you're exceeding 135 KB, the page will go off, because the browser will support only to some extent, right? If you want to show more than that, the page will not load. The browser will be hanged up. That is the reason the view state will control the size of the page. Okay, if you want to display lakhs of records on the same page, then it will throw out some error. Okay, this is called view state. You can disable that option also here. Salesforce CRM content user. So content user application is available to all, but those but if a user have this license, if the user has checkbox only, they can create the libraries, they can create the content, all the application is available to these people. Otherwise, they cannot do that. Okay. Receive CRM content email alerts. For suppose if this option is only available, is generally useful for sharing the updates of the content. For suppose you have uploaded a new version of PDF file today, so it will update to all the people who are following that file. As I said, the users can follow the files in CRM content inside Salesforce organization. If you are following a file called Introduction to Cloud Computing, today I am modifying that file to Introduction to Cloud Computing. The same file I am uploading with the new content. So all the people who are following that file will be updated saying, hey, this file is updated. That type of notifications you will get to your email address. Okay. CRM alerts, this same type of option. You can get alerts as a daily days. So you can say a simple mail or daily saying this is a new file uploaded into the system. You can do this content like this. Allow forecasting. Forecasting is useful for the salespeople to tell their targets what they can make in the coming quarter. The people will directly say that I will make $50,000 in the coming quarter, means in the coming 3 months. That's called forecasting. That's a separate object. That's an important feature in Salesforce. Okay, with forecasting, so they'll give access rating. So based on their ability, they'll give that this quarter I will make $50,000. They will mention in the previous quarter only, and they will compare what all they promised and what all they made. They can review the reports at the end of the quarter. Okay, at this quarter I will do that. I will make $50,000 in the coming quarter. Okay, and so if I made $60,000, which is like more than 20%, 120% of my actual forecasting, then I have done great performance, right? You can use some target and you can do the targets like this. Okay, forecasting is your predictions, how much sales you can make by the salespeople. Okay, call center. This is a call center configuration. So if so there can be a number of call centers in the system, and you can assign to one of the call center. This user is assigned to one of the call center. By clicking on the lookup, and you can attach to one call center, so that you belong to that call center. And phone number, email, all these things are personal details. And here is the email encoding. So what emails will you accept from this organization? This is you can configure here. Okay. There is a lot of things. Okay, if you want the Chinese traditional emails, you can just configure that. Employee number, started and end date. So when you start your day, so for suppose some people will start their day at 1 p.m. in the afternoon and end it at will end by the midnight, right? So you can use their office hours so that the cases assigned to you are it will check your business hours. So when they are assigning some item or when they are assigning some task to you, they will check your start and end date of your day. They will check. These are called business hours of your day. Okay. So seeing business hours, you can see the profile also. For suppose you know, right, how the Hyderabad team will work from 9 to evening 6. That you will assign to that profile user saying this profile users will work from 9 to 6. That's the business hours for that team. If they are working additionally, means you won't consider that as a system won't consider, and it won't assign separate issues on the time. If you want, you can change this here and then start date. Mailing address, single sign-on. This is for when you are working on single sign-on integrations. You can attach this federation ID here. Okay, a link here. And localization settings. You have to map your time zone so that I have showed you the same thing. So based on this only, all the records times will be automatically changed. For suppose earlier my time zone is Indian time zone. That's the reason. Whenever I'm getting a record, it will showing my Indian time only. It's showing next day, like after 12 hours. It's showing like after 12 hours. Okay. Now it's showing the exact time. When the timing is set today, it's showing the same time. But for the same, if the same record is accessed by Indian person, if my manager is Indian, he is in India. If he is seeing my record, he will be seeing the record time as their time, same time. So if it is morning 10 a.m. for me, for them it will show like evening 10 p.m. it's created the record. Okay, this is based on completely on time zone. Okay, and locally to modify your language. Okay, so you are just mentioning I belongs to this like English India or something like this. Okay, for local information. And if you modify the language, so for suppose you want to assign the Chinese language to Japanese language to Japanese users. Okay, Chinese user to Chinese language to Chinese users. So you can modify the things like this. So click on save. Every system options will be changing for me to that language. See, everything will be modified to Chinese. Even I can give my value in Chinese also. See, that's how it works. So it can give everything in Chinese. Even the values which I entered, right? The Chinese people enter in Chinese language only, right? So they can put like this. So now even every option will be shown like this. So I'm just coming back. So I'm modifying to English because I don't know where the options is. I don't know which language. I don't know this is locally settings. This reason I came back with the backward options and I'm clicking on save. I know this button is save button because based on their position, it. Now I came back to English. Okay, click on edit. So these are local settings. So I'll make sure that if you change this right, you can't change back to English. Sometimes if you're a different page, you don't know what button is what, and if you click on some back button, it will read the records also. So if you have a problem, you just mention to other system administrators so that he will change the settings for you. Okay. And this is the approver settings, delivery approver, manager, and receive emails. So only from the approver. Okay, I can select this option. So if you are the here's the options. If you are the approver, you will get the request email saying please approve. You can even approve the request from your email also. So clicking on. So if you click on this Salesforce newsletters, all the stuff, this is administrator from Salesforce. Click on save. This is for approval thing. This is for local settings. Everything is for local settings. And this is the, till here I have explained you the user options. Coming below, there are permission sets. So I will talk about this more in the security things. For suppose there are 500 people in Hyderabad location. You have a profile users called Hyderabad sales users profile with 500 users. For suppose in that 500 users, there are 50 managers who want some separate permissions on expenses, all this stuff. Okay, on total expenses for the company is using all this stuff. Only the managers. Now we look into separate permission sets for the 50 people to give that object permissions. I will show all the information about object called expenses, and I will give access to this particular 50 users by giving a permission set. This permission set is a separate set of permissions I'm assigning to this user. If I'm assigning this permission to this user, means I'm giving the permissions to this user. I'm giving extra permissions other than the profile. So profile will distribute all the same permissions to all the profile users. This will also do the same thing, but we have to assign this permission set of the each user level. Okay, you have to come to the user, you have to attach this permission set so that this person will have some extra permissions which I am giving it in this permission set. This also looks very similar to profile. Permission set license assignments. You can only give some set of license assignments to this people. Okay, they can't do it more than that licenses. Okay, program personal groups. So means this person belongs to this Hyderabad sales group. So I can create a group inside Salesforce, a group of users. Chatter groups are different and these groups are different. This groups is for application, data sharing and data all this stuff, record sharing all this stuff. That groups are useful for collaboration. Okay, chatter groups are for collaboration. These groups are record sharing, data sharing all this stuff. Public group membership. So this is a personal group which I have created. This is a public group for all the people. Okay, there are I belongs to more than 15 groups. So means this user belongs to 15 groups. So he belongs to this iOS team, Novartis, a public group, a steady state team, all this stuff. Okay, and queues membership. Again, this guy is also member of all these queues. Okay, what is a queue? Queue is like a round robin type of loop like. So this queue is stored the if there are 5 people in the queue. So people generally the queues are mainly used in the call center. Okay, or like assignment type of thing. If you want to assign some cases to some people, you assign the 5 people to the 5 queue, five call center users. And if there are 14 cases, we assign one by one. One cases. Okay, so that each user will take one case. Or if there are 5 people in the system, if there are 14 cases, 4 people will take 3 cases. One person will take 2 cases. Okay, that's like round robin type of thing. You can work on it. Okay, these are mainly used in support center. So there is no manager in the role hierarchy for me because this guy is the CEO, right? There is no manager in this role hierarchy. Here is the authentication logins happened with different tools and their dates. Okay. With the workbench is also a work computer application, chatter, desktop, app exchange, everything or third-party applications where you means other applications where you use the same login. Okay. And manage the packages what you have installed in the system and what you have access. Okay, and this is the login history of the application. Total logins if you show all the logins to system. And download all the 6 months history of the current user profile also. I can download the history of last 6 months of all the users of the login history section in here. This is for all users. This is for single user. And also get the 6 months history for this particular user also in a CSV format. Okay, so that's it. So I want to close this class for today. Tomorrow we'll discuss more on this security user options, roles, profiles, public groups, queues, all this stuff on their creation and their customization and settings. And later on we work on manage applications, and one by one we work on these options. Okay. Cool. Do you have any questions, guys? Questions? So I would like to share an assignment to you guys on workflow rules and approval process. You try doing the things in your personal organization. Same way, you can create some expense object like so there is an expense object. You just calculate expense name, expense description, and expense amount. Okay, so generally, and expense type, personal or business expense. All the personal expenses company won't take it up. Okay, so you just So all the expenses which are approved, you will get you will get in your salary. Think like this scenario and make the entry criteria of this approval process equal to, if expense type equal to business, means if expense type equal to personal, means it's your personal expense. They are not going to reimburse you, so it won't come into the approval process. If expense type equal to business, and if the expense is so if the expense is greater than 0, you ask for submit for approval. Okay, that's the entry criteria of the approval process. Just work on this scenario with the approval process, and you can even work on the email alerts or field updates with the approvals also, thinking on your own scenarios. Okay, this is independent, like simple one object requirement for working on workflows and approval process. If you work on it, you will really get more questions. You will really get more doubts also when you're working on it. Okay, just posting the assignment of the charter. Go to groups. Assignment 2. Okay. Object with workflow rules. Process. Okay. I want multi-step approval process, same way what we did. Okay. By using all type of approvals also. Okay.